Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Monday, September 5th, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be taking a quick look back at yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out. And then talking about my core plays for today. It is a 6-game main slate overall today, so a little bit smaller slate. Maybe one that you want to play just a little bit lighter today than you typically do. And then after that, going over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talking about my top GPP stacks for today as well. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. At the pitcher position, we had Frankie Montas at $9,000. Ended up getting 42 points yesterday. He was a hit in the third overall pitcher on yesterday's slate. At first base, we had Paul Goldschmidt, $4,600. Unfortunately, only got to 6 points yesterday, so I did give him a push. Didn't completely kill us or anything else like that. Just did not live up to kind of the high expectations that you have with someone with that price tag. And then at shortstop, we had Francisco Lindor, $3,800, got to 0 points. He was a miss and unfortunately went 0 for 4 yesterday. Corey Dickerson, who we had in the outfield, was $2,200, got to 6 points. Did give him a push as well. Kind of looking for at least that 9-point threshold out of him, but still a decent play for a pay down option yesterday. And then last but not least, we had Ryan Mountcastle at $2,600. Got to 0 points. Unfortunately, he was a miss and he went 0 for 4 as well. Looked like a decent matchup on paper, just did not end up playing out that way. And that game was kind of flip-flopped overall. It was kind of the Oakland lineup that did better yesterday than the Baltimore lineup, even though they were going against the young, unproven pitcher. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my core picks for today. So we're going to start off at the pitcher position. I have Lance Lynn there today at $9,300, averaging about 29.5 fantasy points per game on the season. Been pitching pretty well as of late going against the Seattle Mariners. And for whatever reason, it seems like these Mariners hitters have had pretty poor history versus some of the pitchers they faced in recent starts. Lance Lynn's no exception there, although he has not pitched against them this season. So you got some of the younger guys he hasn't faced yet, but definitely have some interest in him once again today. Then we move down to first base with Trey Mancini at $2,700. Goes against the Texas Rangers as Martin Perez pitching today. Perez has kind of been hit or miss versus the Astros this year. There's 2 good starts, 2 bad starts. The most recent ones have kind of been the bad starts. Trey Mancini is 7 for 19 versus him in his career, so there's some upside there for him today at $2,700. Then we move down to second base with Wilmer Flores. You can also play him at first base and third base. It just so happens that I had guys at those positions, so second base is where he slotted in best for me personally. But he's $3,000, averaging over 9 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Dodgers. It's Andrew Heaney pitching today. He is 4 for 8 with 1 home run versus Heaney in his career. So there could be some pretty good upside there once again today. Then at third base, we have Justin Turner at $3,000. Been hitting the ball extremely well as of late. He's averaging about 10 fantasy points per game. Goes against the San Francisco Giants and Logan Webb today. He's 3 for 7 versus Logan Webb in his career. So look for another good day out of Justin Turner once again today. And then last but not least, in the outfield, we have Eloy Jimenez at $2,900. Averaging about 9 fantasy points per game on the season, but one of the hotter hitters in all of baseball since the All-Star break. He's going against the Seattle Mariners today. Marco Gonzalez pitching today. He's never faced him in his career, oddly enough, but should be a pretty favorable matchup for Eloy once again today. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you'll have $14,100 remaining, just over $3,500 per player. So there's definitely a couple opportunities to pay up for players if that's something you really want to do on today's slate, or if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely fine as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talk about my top GPP stacks for today. So the ones that I do have for today, I have the Houston Astros here. When I was talking about Trey Mancini, kind of talked about Martin Perez versus the Astros this year. The first 2 starts of the year, pretty good. Last 2, not so good. So we'll kind of see which one it ends up shaking out today. There are some Astros hitters that have hit him pretty well in the past, although the one thing that he's done really well against this Astros team is limiting home runs. So kind of take your shots there if you want to. Be kind of weary that you might not get the home run ball as much today. Then we have the Padres. They're going against a rookie pitcher in Ryan Nelson making his MLB debut. He's a guy I like quite a bit as a prospect, although in AAA this season he's given up a lot of home runs. I believe it's like 25 home runs in about 120 innings or so. So he's definitely a little susceptible to the long ball. Never facing the Padres before. Could be a good start for him, but it could also be a terrible start as well, as we do see with some MLB debuts. Then we have the Angels going against Tyler Alexander of the Detroit Tigers. They hit him pretty well earlier this season, so not be surprised if that happens once again today. And then last but not least, we have the Texas Rangers going against another rookie pitcher making his MLB debut, and Hunter Brown. Could be some decent upside as well. But with that being said, these are my core 5 picks as well as top GPP stacks for today, September 5th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's one of my core 5 picks, whether it's someone from my top GPP stacks, which there's a pretty good chance since there's only 6 games overall today, or whether it's a completely different player that you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you have to say. But with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Mainly MLB DFS at this point in time, but since this is the first week of the NFL season, I will be having some NFL DFS content coming out as well. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon for more NFL DFS content in general. The link to that is down in the description below, and then once we get back around to the NBA regular season, I'll be covering some NBA DFS as well. And then with that being said, if you're a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS content just like this. And then also this week, I'll have some NFL DFS content coming out as well. And at this point in time, I don't have the full structure planned out, but I'm thinking probably going to be about 3 videos a week. One doing kind of like a first look, one at looking at favorable matchups when it comes to wide receivers and cornerbacks, and then one kind of my core plays for the week overall. So if you're interested in NFL DFS, be sure to check out those videos as well. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.